Hello and welcome back to Cemetery Mary. On the last episode we decided to help out Twyla a lot more than we already have. Instead of robbing just a random store or shop, we have ended up in a retirement home. Or at least a home for the elderly. In which case, I believe Twyla is trying to check the database on a computer while we cause a distraction. Though, as visible, it's not very not much of a confidence distraction. But yeah, what else is there to do other than see how this turns out? But it's not like it mattered, I guess, because I didn't find anything important. But at one point I noticed a nurse heading to the front desk. I was about to shout our whole deer plan, but it's a good thing I turned to check before I yelled, because when I looked back over there, Twyla was gone. That's strange. Where'd she go? Did she just get up and head somewhere else without telling me? She wouldn't leave the building, right? Or did she already get caught because I wasn't checking enough? Well, either way, there was no use to me being in the common room anymore. I would imagine Twyla has headed somewhere. Maybe like a side room, unaware of the nurse approaching. So I'd say I'd still do the deer plan anyway. I made my way out and went to go look for her. Of course, if she was snooping around, I couldn't just call out her name. So I tried to be quiet as I looked, and made sure to keep a lookout for anything strange that I did. And I actually happened across something strange. There was a trail of something on the floor. I noticed as I looked down. I'd say it looks more purple than it does red, so I don't think it's blood. It could be blood that was like dried up and scrubbed. Well, not necessarily scrubbed away, but washed away. It was like a stain spread across the floor. It wasn't red, so I don't think it was blood or anything. At least Mary and I agree. If I bent down really close, it even vaguely smelled of fruit. If that made sense. It was something familiar, and yet it seemed unfamiliar too. I couldn't exactly pin what it was. Something about it just felt off. Like this isn't the type of stain you're supposed to find here. All I knew is that it looked like. All I knew is what it looked like, and it formed a trail. But are we going in the right direction? Because for all we know, we could be going to the starting point, not to the end point. Naturally, I started to follow it. But I didn't get very far. Excuse me, miss. Before I heard a woman's voice speaking to me harshly. I looked up to see a nurse in front of me. She did not look happy. Oh, hello there. What are you doing? Following a trail. There might be a leak somewhere, which you should probably investigate. What do you mean? Are you looking for something? Well, not particularly. I mean, I noticed you in the common room earlier, and now you're looking around in the hall. Well, we're not looking around the halls. We're just looking at the floor of the halls. What is it you're here for? Because it didn't seem like you came to visit someone. Oh no, I did. I was surprised that they weren't in the common room, so I went to look for them for their room. But I couldn't remember the number. Really now. Who is it you came to visit then? Oh, my grandpa. I'm here to visit my grandfather. You can't mistake him. He looks a lot like me. We've got red hair and glasses. I mean, I don't have glasses, but he does. And he's pretty old. That's how grandfathers work, Mary. What's his name? Groven. And his name, oh shoot. Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot, shoot, shoot. What am I supposed to say? What if I say the wrong thing? I'm doomed. I felt absolutely cornered now. But it was then that I noticed Twyla. She was all the way at the end of the hall, right past the nurse in front of me. I mean, Twyla couldn't look more like a deer in headlights. But I guess better us than her. Because we can't just say like a vague, like common name, like, you know, like, I don't know, John, like John Doe. We can't just say John because everyone's got like, well, besides Mary, everyone's got questionable names. By that example, I mean like Twyla and Crowan. There's always Reginald, but like Reginald's pretty rare of a name. She seemed to have spotted me as I was looking for her. It looked like she was crossing into some other room, but I guess she noticed it. Looked like I was in trouble. Should I call her over? Maybe she can help. I looked through. She looked through the computer roll. She can give the nurse the name she's looking for. But what should I do? I'm gonna try and handle the situation on my own. Even if I get thrown out, they don't know that Twyla's here, right? So, save. We're on page 3, so let's go to page 4. Hooray! I'm going to try and handle the situation on my own. I decided not to call Twyla over. She might be onto something, or trying to remain hidden. I'd mess everything up if I made her presence known. I tried to signal with my eyes to Twyla. I even nodded my head a bit to show she should leave and that I was okay on my own. She seemed to have gotten the message and hurried out of there. Yeah, Twyla's not slow. Twyla is on the ball. To be fair, Twyla's probably kicking the ball. You know, making it harder for all of the rest of us to stay on the ball. And now, of course, I was stuck here. What are you doing? Twitching? Oh, sorry. I've got a twitching issue. I believe they're called Tourette's, Mary. It's not very nice to pretend to have those. It runs in the family. Oh, wait. Your Wraithwood's kid, Ed Wraithwood? I don't think we should say yes to that, because if we say yes to that, the nurse is probably going to say, oh, we don't have a Wraithwood. Yes, that's my granddad. Yeah, he mentioned something about a grandchild coming to visit soon. Though I warn you, his opinion of you isn't very high. Oh, I'll take you to his room. Follow me. I was able to get it off easier than I thought. I followed her to the stranger's room. She dropped me off and left her on her way. But I guess I'm stuck here. If she sees me looking through the halls again, no doubt she'd be suspicious. I should stay here for a while. I'm sure Twyla will message me if she needs me or if it's time to go. Or anyways, I pulled out a stool and sat across from the old man in front of me. Guess I ought to introduce myself. Hello, sir. Hello, Mr. Ed. Who's there? Hello, Mr. Ed. It's very nice to meet you. I hope this isn't too awkward. Sorry, let me turn my hearing aids up. Blind as a bat, and already losing my hearing too. Not a good combo. Alright now, come again. Who is this? I ain't had a visitor in forever. Let's be honest, right? No reason to be mean to the elderly and lie to them. Either way, I'm going to say this again. No? I mean, I'm sorry, I don't really recognize you from anywhere. And I'm sure you don't recognize me. Unless you also like cemeteries. Can't say I do. But with eyes like mine, can't say I recognize anyone anymore. Oh ho ho. At least he sounds like he's in positive spirits. I'm Mary. I don't think you've heard me say it earlier, but it's nice to meet you. Ed, a pleasure to meet you too. I'm sorry, I don't really know what to talk about. Well, for starters, why don't you tell me why you're here? Seems a little suspicious to get a sudden visitor. I don't know. I don't know if I should. Why's that? You're not up to anything bad, are you? Oh no, not at all. In fact, I'm here for a good reason. And with a friend too. Well, that's not very good. Because now if they question Ed's gonna tell them. Well, she's not with me now, but she saw me getting into trouble with the nurse, but I made sure she didn't get into trouble as well. Though I guess I was kind of able to get myself out of trouble too, so it's okay. The nurses are a bunch of strict people, I guess. Well, my. What? It's true. Acting like they gotta baby us all the time. Let me tell you, just because I'm wearing diapers doesn't mean I'm a baby. I see. Are they really so annoying? Oh, do you know it? Don't get me wrong. There's a few sweethearts, but wowee. Some of these folk need to take a... What's it called? Chill pill. Chill pill! Yeah, one of those. I'm sure that they just want to make sure you're okay. I don't think so. Sometimes I don't think they really do. Yeah, I get it. I'm sure it ain't an easy job, but it's a bit hard to be around them acting so strictly all the time, even when you don't need them to be. How do you mean? Well, they ain't always the nicest company, that's all. Do you not enjoy that company? Well, it ain't awful, but I'd much rather hang around friends and family and people like that. Well, why can't you? They're dead. What about grandchildren? Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. Are you okay? Happens to all of us. None of my friends seem to have lasted as long as I did. Are you bragging about being the last of your friends to die? And your family? Well, they ain't dead. Most of them ain't. But they may as well be. Why'd you say that? Oh, they now come to visit me. Only showed up to visit my old home where my wife died. None of them wanted to take care of me because who would, right? Stuck me in here. Fastest chance they got. Okay then. It's kind of. I mean, yeah. I'm assuming there's gonna be like a reason to be optimistic about it. Like say, like money wise, they couldn't. Like, I don't know. Sorry, that's a tad rude of me. I shouldn't be talking like that. Some of them actually called to say they'd visit soon, so I'm sorry. It's really sad. Hooey. Don't you worry about that. I guess it's just expected when you're old. People see you less and less the older you get. I don't know. I know this is sudden, but you mentioned your wife died. May I ask you some things about your wife, if that's all right? Please. Sure. How long has it been? Yeah. When did she die? It was a while ago. Can't say I remember exactly when. Hard to keep track of time at all nowadays. All right. Well, did she pass peacefully at least? I'm sorry. Was that too harsh? I hope it was peaceful. Were you blind before the accident? Oh, like I'm assuming accident. She deserved only the best. The sweetheart she was. I hope if they're not visiting me, they better be visiting her. Oh, who? Your wife? Who else? Being in my state, I can't visit her. So those children of mine better be paying their respects. And giving her the company I can't. Actually, this may sound very strange, but I think I've met her before. Well, I live very close to the cemetery, and I like to make sure that every person has at least a flower. Your last name, it seems familiar to me. I think I've met her before, so I hope I can reassure you that she hasn't been forgotten. Is that so? You really do that? For someone you don't even know? Oh yes. I believe that people always deserve respect, even after passing. And if you feel she's not getting enough, well, I'm more than happy when I'm able to provide. And I can visit you too. Like here. You said your family doesn't visit you enough, right? Well, I'm sure I can make time to visit you here. And maybe I'll be able to take you to visit your wife too. I'm sorry. I just got a bit weird there, didn't I? I'd like that. You would, really? I'm so glad then. Before I could say much else, the nurse popped in to check on us. Yoo-hoo! Hello, hello, hello. How is everything going? I don't know. I'm kind of suspicious of this nurse more than the other nurse. The other nurse, looking kind of annoyed makes more sense than an overly positive nurse, because that seems more sinister in my opinion. Everyone doing okay? Oh yes, thank you. Glad to hear it. Well, I've come to bring your special lunch, Ed. Lunchtime already? I see, thank you. The nurse pulled me out one of those small folding tables and placed down a tray of food for Ed. Ed sipped a spoonful of soup and coughed. I immediately began to worry that he was choking, but then... Well, things have escalated quite a bit. What's happening, Ed? Oh dear, oh my. Don't worry. This will be fine. I just need to call for some help, that's all. I saw the nurse reach over and pull out what looked like a walkie-talkie. She scrambled to get it working as she voiced that there was an emergency. Before I knew it, nurses started to flood the room, and I was pushed out by them. I tried to look over to see what was happening, but it was no use. There's too many of them, and I was also too short to see them as he passed. I mean, I don't know. Mary doesn't seem like the shortest person there. I felt a tight feeling in my throat, so as I nervously fiddled my hands together. I don't know what happened. I tried to listen in, but with all the nurses talking and panicking all at once, it was hard. I think I heard something about an ambulance, but I couldn't be sure. I wasn't sure what to do next, but then Twyla, right? Yeah. Twyla's gonna think we actively murdered someone to distract all the nurses. There you are. Hey, what's going on here? The guy, huh? Use your words, Mary. The guy in there. He started choking, and a bunch of nurses are in there trying to help fix it. I think I heard one call for an ambulance. Really? That's a lucky break for us then. Well, if they're all in there, we can slip around even further without getting caught. Twyla. He's having an emergency. Yeah, and? What if it's the work of the butcher? I mean, I doubt it, considering he was coughing up blood. Think about it. Maybe it's because the butcher really did decide to strike you out today. Maybe they're still around. Maybe we can catch them or find something that they left behind. Twyla, please. Come on, who knows how much time we have. You may let this opportunity go to waste, but I won't. If you're not going to look with me, then wait outside until I'm done. I'm looking whether you like it or not. Twyla, please don't. I had no choice but to follow Twyla. I didn't want her doing something even worse. Luckily, most of the doors she tried to get in were locked anyways. But she tried getting into the kitchen. Before she could step inside, I reached out and tried to pull her back. She was insistent on going in. Twyla, stop it. Let go, Mary. I need to look. I saw something in here earlier, but I couldn't get close enough look until now. So get off before you really get on my nerves. You said you wouldn't be like this. Twyla, this is going way too far. It's not like we're police or detectives or something. We're trespassers, Twy. Cool. We've given Twyla a nickname. We don't know how long everyone is going to be gone for. If someone comes back and sees us in here, we can get big trouble. Please, it's not worth it. You're right. Fine then, let's go. I let go of Twyla, and we started back down the hall. Though from the corner of my eye, I swear I saw her rush in really quick. But when I turned around, she was right behind me. So I wanted to believe she didn't do anything underhanded, but she did. Twyla took out her phone and made sure her chauffeur was on his way. I hadn't even realized that it had already gotten near the time we planned to leave. We stepped out of the building and into the soft sunshine. It felt so strange to have everything seem so peaceful here, as compared to the chaos going on inside. Worry still swelled in my chest, but I assured myself that they had everything under control, and we sat on the curb and waited for our ride. I don't think Ed's gonna make it. If anything, we're gonna go back we're gonna go back to the cemetery, sleep on a grave, and then we're gonna meet Ed. But we didn't say much. I was fine with that. Before I knew it, our ride showed up, and we crawled into the back seat. As we drove off, I noticed an ambulance, sirens blaring, pulling into the front of the home. My heart sank once again. During the ride, I looked over to Twyla. She seemed to be texting like crazy on her phone. She seemed frustrated. It was probably just my fault, I figured, so I tried to make sure I was still on her good side. Twyla? Are you mad at... Ooh, pardon me. Are you mad at me? I'm sorry. I don't think I was... I'm cut out as this for you. I don't think I'm as cut out for this as you'd like me to be. It's fine. I'm not upset. You sure? Yes. I collected a lot of information from there. I'll have a lot to go over when I analyze my findings further. Oh, I'm glad then. The rest of the ride was mostly quiet until she asked me where I wanted to be dropped off. As my go-to, I told her to let me off at the cemetery. She called me a weirdo, but dropped me off there anyways. The rest of my day was pretty uneventful after that. But I am really, truly thankful for that. I don't know what I would have done had something like that else awful happened. I went home as my usual time and carried on as normal. Where were you today? You're not already here, are you? Why do you think that I am? Because something bad happened today. Oh? And what was that? I don't know if I should tell you. Then how would I know what you're talking about? Sure. Why not? I went somewhere today, and while I was there, someone started having a medical emergency. They called an ambulance, and I was told I should leave. I see. I'm sorry you had to go through that. By any means, I hope it may feel better about what happened soon. Try not to think about it as much, and get a good night's sleep. I always try to. Good night, Mary. It had been a few days since I last talked to Twyla. Well, I mean, I'd been talking to her, but she isn't the easiest to hold a conversation with. Unless she wants to talk about the butcher, then there's nothing really we have much to have to talk about. And things regarding it have been pretty quiet lately. Well, on my end at least. I don't know what Twyla's doing, or if she's found anything. I feel like she doesn't really trust me. Well, that's fair. We don't really know each other that well, too. Or we don't know each other I don't know, I'm trying to think of how it was phrased. But we don't know each other too well. That's how it ended. But maybe she'll start to trust me the more we work together. That's how friendship works, right? Anyways, spending time at home, like I've been. What? Okay, right. Going out is nice, but I need a break every once in a while too. Not Croven though. Apparently, he always leaves his room. He always leaves the house, even if it's not a nice day. He stays out all day too, and so it can get pretty lonely when he's not around. But it's not so bad. I've been able to keep myself pretty entertained. I started reading that book that the old bookstore owner had given me. When I saw the title, How to Talk to Ghosts, so this is that conversation again. I'm trying to think, when you go back, history. Cool. Anyway, let's go, where's it? Alright. Phone ringing. That happened last time, right? Yeah, right. Hello, hi. Oh, hi, Twyla. Did you need something? No, well, kind of. Remember how we went to Cypress Side the other day? Yeah, of course. Why? Did you happen to remember? Do you happen to remember the name of the guy you talked to? You mean Ed? Yes, but what was his last name? Also, Wraithwood. Thank you. I was sure I had it right, but I just wanted some confirmation. Oh, okay. Is there anything? Yeah, is there anything else that you need from me or him? I mean, you did call instead of text, so. Oh, that was just to ensure that I had an immediate response. Oh well, okay. If you need any more info on him, I'm going to visit. I'm going to visit him this weekend. So, in the cemetery? No, in the retirement home. Mary, you know he died, right? Huh? I mean, I figured to keep on top of that all that stuff. You didn't know? He died the day we went. Guess that emergency was. Guess that emergency he had was serious after all. It also means the butcher could have been there when we were there. When we were. That's why I was looking for more into it just now. I hope you. I hope you weren't too attached. I'll talk to you later. I was heartbroken. The butcher could have been there. Was it because of us? Because we were there. We were there investigating him. Were they on our trail, or did Ed die because we? I had trouble sleeping that night. I imagine you would. And I made my way to the to stop by the cemetery every day, finding out as much information I could. Even if he really did die, because I wasn't going to miss his funeral. Normally I'd put flowers on graves, especially new ones I hadn't seen before. Which brings flowers I grew myself. Buying them could be expensive, but it feels more genuine to grow my own. But I had just been growing a new patch. I didn't have any flowers I could bring. So I took all the little buds I could gather, wrap them up, and invited myself in. Wouldn't you know, his funeral was just on the same day I was planning to go visit him. Isn't that funny how life works? Or his death works? Is this all his family? Normally I don't cry at funerals. I mean, at least the ones where I don't know the person well. But I had to cry now. I had no choice but to cry. All I could think about was him sitting there in his room talking about how lonely he was. How no one ever came to visit him. Well, they came to visit now. He wasn't alone now, right? I didn't talk to any of his family. And they didn't talk to me. And I was fine with that. I didn't want to explain my reasons for being there. The overwhelming sense of guilt was enough weight off my shoulders. I didn't want to have to explain it to them too. I normally didn't like the Outlast family members. Outlast family members at their own families' funerals, but I couldn't help it this time. I had to stay. I had to stay as long as I could to make sure to somehow possibly make it up for what I may have caused. Family members dwindled, and eventually they all left. You know, I think with that, it's a decent place to, call it an end. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Hopefully I can see you on the next one. With that, goodbye.